All right, good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the Township of Wainfleet regular council meeting of May 26, 2026 to order. At this time, please stand for the national anthem. Okay, so we would like to begin this meeting by acknowledging the land on which we gather is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe and the Haudenosaunee peoples, acknowledging the One Bowl and Spoon Treaty. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest this evening? Okay, seeing none. So please note that these meeting proceedings are being broadcast live, recorded, and made available through the Township website and youtube.com. The Wainfleet Township Public Library invites the community to join them for their 60th anniversary celebration on Monday, June 1st from 10:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Drop in throughout the day, enjoy a cup of coffee or tea and some snacks, and reminisce about the library's past 60 years with fellow patrons and staff. The Wainfleet Farmers Market opens for the season Tuesday, June 9th and runs from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Our next regular meeting of council is Tuesday, June 16th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. Over the course of the last month, I've had the privilege to sit as acting Niagara Regional Chair. So on May 1st, I attended the Help a Kid Shine Niagara Children's Center flag raising. May 6th and 7th, I attended the Great Lakes Initiative Conference in Hamilton. May 11th, I had the privilege of presenting Ridley College with a certificate of congratulations for their National Basketball Championship. May 19th, I participated in a flag raising for Paramedics Week with the Niagara EMS. May 20th, I attended Agriculture Days at Niagara College and the grand opening of affordable housing structure in Thorold. May 21st, I attended the grand opening of Radiant Care Retirement Home in Virgil. And then on May 22nd, I attended the Niagara EMS graduation ceremony. Also, on a side note, June 1st is also Seniors Month. So next month, please stop and give a senior a hug. Are there any remarks from any members of council? All right. It was a busy month. It's not over yet, right? 3 more days. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Do you want my sticky notes? All right, so with that, then we're just going to move into the adoption of previous council minutes. So I have a motion that the minutes of the regular meeting of council held May 5th, 2026 be adopted as circulated. Can I have a mover and seconder? Councilor McCullen? Councilor Anderson, thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, and that is carried. Okay, with that, we're going to move right into delegations. So this evening we have one delegation from Jennifer Hallman. She is here to speak to us regarding the issues at Daly Ditch Road beach access. Ms. Hallman, you have 10 minutes to make your presentation. Just push the little button on the bottom of the mic there. There you go.
My name is Jennifer Hallman. I'm a property owner on Lakeshore Road, located 8 properties west of Daly Ditch Beach Access Road. I come from 3 generations of Long Beach property ownership. Been on the beach basically since I've been born. I'm here tonight to bring the council's attention to ongoing bylaw violations situation at Daly Beach Access off Lakeshore Road. We have a few other Long Beach Lakeshore residents in attendance who are also affected by these violations. We're here tonight to request 2 items. The township enforced the existing bylaws on the Daily Ditch Access Road, bylaw 021-2022. The second is to erect proper signage of the Wainfleet Daily Ditch Road beach access. As residents, we've witnessed the following violations, which I have pictures, which I'll scroll through. Hopefully this goes right. Pictures here are for 2026. Previous pictures here of 2025. Parking numerous vehicles and watercraft trailers on the beach for hours. Launching of boats and jet skis. Public drinking of alcohol. Operation of boats and jet skis even after drinking alcohol for hours. Drinking and driving their vehicles home after drinking on the beach for hours. Starting fires on the beach, burning tires on the beach, urinating on the beach, burying human waste on the beach, glass beer bottles on the beach and in the water, leaving garbage on the beach, open gas cans next to the water's edge, left there while they're off jet skiing, large gatherings causing noise and disturbance, blocking residents to access their beachfront properties. The issues residents face with the violators, we have many bad confrontations with asking people to move over to allow us access to the road allowance to get our tractors on and off the beach to service our properties. We're faced with rude, intimidating, vulgar, drunk individuals, lack of respect of adjacent residents and private properties, motorcycles and ATVs are ATV violators against the bylaws. There's high speeds on the beach, groups of 6 or 8 or more, very noisy, disruptive. This occurs in the spring, summer, and fall. It's not just a summer issue. Some of the exposed beach wells are vulnerable for damage of these vehicles and also for these motorcycle and ATVers to get injured. Jet ski and boat launching. They drive their jet skis too close to swimmers on the beach, too close to swimmers in the water, and it's not just right at the Daily Beach access, it's carried down for quite a few cottages to the point where some swimmers and other boaters are afraid. We have to watch out for our people and our guests on the beach and in the water. Horses on the beach. I know you can't deprive an animal access to water, but the horses on the beach, they are beautiful. Just last May 9th weekend, two residents witnessed 13 horses walking on the beach. One horse dropped manure in the water right in front of the home. The horse kept on riding away. The residents cleaned up the manure themselves. One resident went to the Daily Ditch Road allowance, noticed 4 truck and horse trailers blocking the road. So can you imagine 4 trucks and horse trailers? That's the entire road right there. No one can get up. This gentleman had to bring his tractor back off the beach and they were in the way. He said, "Hey, you can't park here. You're blocking the road access. Read the signs." Obviously, the signs are not large enough. No one's reading them. The group eventually loaded up and left. We request the horses must be equipped with manure bags before entering the beach. This should be on a proposed sign. They contaminate the lake, contaminate the beach, and contaminate our drinking water. Bylaw officers. Existing bylaw officers have always been scheduled working Monday through Friday during business hours. In 2025, I understand the bylaw officer was hired to work after hours, but we've been told they felt intimidated facing the violators, just like us, feeling intimidated. We request the bylaw officers patrol this area Monday through Friday evenings till dark, weekends and holidays during the day and evenings till dark, because that's when the majority of the violations occur. They must get out of their vehicles and walk onto the beach to monitor and evaluate the situations. They must have the ability not to be intimidated by groups of people who have been drinking and refuse to listen and can handle tense situations. They must perform multiple sites per day, evenings. We request that when tickets are issued, the violators should be instructed to leave in a timely manner and not stay for hours until they decide to leave on their own. The officer should always return to monitor that the violators did indeed leave. It's been proposed it's been proposed by one resident, I won't name, that the town hires a few residents as bylaw officers, paying them $1 a year to grant them authority to enforce the bylaws to issue tickets in a prompt manner. Police. Calling the police does not guarantee an officer will come at all. It might take a few hours or most likely not at all. Violators claim the police have been telling them in the past that they're okay to park on the beach, launch jet skis, that they're doing everything on the beach is just fine. So the police are misinforming the public. According to the bylaws, you cannot park on the beach, you cannot launch boats, and the police are going against this. It's very frustrating for us residents. On Friday, May 8th, I talked to two people jet skiing. I went down on the beach to take pictures of their vehicles, which was at the beginning of this, and they told me, what are we doing wrong? I said, the beach is not a parking lot, it's not a boat ramp. They said, the police have told them they can do this, it's no big deal. They've been doing it for years. That's exactly our point. This has been going on for years. We need to stop this. The Daly Ditch Road allowance is not a public beach area. The only public beach access areas are 1 Augustine Road allowance, public beach access at 12470 Lakeshore Road, owned and operated by the Niagara Region, and the other is the Long Beach Conservation Park. All three of these areas offer parking, washroom facilities, which the Daly Ditch Road does not. The Long Beach Conservation Park offers picnic area and boat launching. Daly Ditch does not. It's not a public beach. It's access to beach access fire lane and for the residents' properties. Signage. This is the second part we request. We request the town completes installing a large sign by June 15th, 2026, ahead of the July 1st chaos. The sign mimics the existing sign at Augustine Road. This is our little sign here at Daly Ditch Road. Pretty pathetic. Doesn't really tell you anything. This is the Augustine Road allowance sign. $300 fine for each violation, and it lists the violations, the most common violations for that particular area. We need a sign like this. Big, large, and explains everything. It outlines, the bylaw should outline a fine for $300 per offense, a QR code on the sign with a link to the bylaw number 021-2022, symbols illustrating the offenses. It's my understanding, one alderman proposed a gate. A gate does not enforce the existing bylaws. Bylaw officer enforces the existing bylaws. The gate will be compromised, the lock will be cut, the gate will be damaged by vehicles, just like signs are pushed over by trucks at the Daly Ditch every year, or they steal the signs off and leave the posts. Gates will probably be demolished or damaged by storms. Gate keys would have to be issued to every resident on Long Beach. It's not just the residents in the immediate area that use that road allowance, that access. Everyone uses it. The gate is a last resort. How about enforcing the existing bylaws first? The Lakeshore residents, we should not have to put up with vulnerable situations when we're accessing our beach property. The situation is escalating every summer, particularly after COVID-19. A lot of young people these days that we're experiencing, the attitude they give us, that they have the rights to go on any beach and anywhere they want. Well, no, they don't. It's our private beach, it's our private property. We feel eventually something is going to happen, whether someone's going to get hurt on the land or in the water. Residents have communicated to the township via phone calls and emails with little to no action from the township. The township has neglected the situation, the Daly Ditch Road allowance. The residents should not have to defend their properties every weekend and every holiday. We're here tonight in front of you seeking immediate action to protect our residents, our families, and protect the integrity of Long Beach and Lake Erie. June 1st is days away. The craziness is going to start mid-June when high school kids get out. July 1st is crazy, and that's being polite. I think it was last July 1st or the year before. We had an incident on our beach property at night. We had a bunch of our kids, family members on the beach having a bonfire, setting off fireworks. A truck was cruising up and down the beach at night in the pitch dark really fast. One of our adults went up to the truck, got the truck to stop, knocked on the window pulled down, and punched our individual in the face. That's what's happening, and took off. People are walking on the beach, sitting on the beach, and this is pitch black at night on July 1st night. something is going to happen. That's all I have to say.
Comments or questions? Okay, with that, are there any comments or questions for Ms. Hallman at the time from council? That's fine. That's fine. All right. All right. Thank you, Ms. Hallman. Mrs. Hallman, sorry, I apologize. So with that, I'm going to open the floor up with a motion. So I have a motion that the delegation from Jennifer Hallman respecting issues at Daily Ditch Road beach access be received, and that council direct staff to install enhanced signage at the Daily Ditch Road lakeshore access, and that staff be further directed to bring an amendment to bylaw number 20/2014, being a bylaw, being the administrative penalty system for offenses associated with the stopping, standing, and parking of vehicles to reflect an update to Schedule A, identifying provision 482, stop an emergency route penalty, fine of $300 at the next regular council meeting. Can I have a seconder for that? Councilor Cullen, thank you. And now I'll open it up for discussion. Councilor Cullen, go ahead.
Thank you for your presentation. There's a few, I was the guy that recommended the fence and the gate and Jersey barriers. There's a problem with that, I found out. That's a public road allowance. It's 66 feet that we own that goes to the water. If we block it, everybody is out, including all of you, because I have to block the public, which includes you. So there'll be no more going down with your tractors. There'll be no more. So I agree we'll put this fence up or this sign up, and we'll see what it does. But if it doesn't work, because once they go off our property, that little 66-foot wide strip, it becomes a civil matter with the Niagara Regional Police and you. And the guy that punched somebody should have called the cops and filed charges. We as a town can't do anything about that. Mark can't do that. If they're parked on that 66-foot, we can give them the ticket. I would suggest we put towing on there as well and really hit the pocket. But I have no problem with that. But I just want you all to know, if we go to the gate, you don't go down there either.
You can't go to the gate.
I know you don't want the gate.
It's emergency
But-
route. You can't emergency route.
Yeah,
Not that we don't want block
who is the emergency that's going there? My fire department or my public works? They both will have a key on every vehicle, right? Niagara Regional Health doesn't go down there. They have no reason to go down there.
We go down and test the water.
Oh, they can walk, we're gonna leave it so you can walk down, and that's what will stop. People still have the right to,
Public access, not
Okay, Counselor, if we're going to continue in this manner, I would ask that Ms. Hallman come and speak on behalf of the group. So if you're going to address the group, that way she can respond, okay?
The access is public access,
yes.
not emergency. You have to
There will be-
defend, you have to enforce the bylaws. If you cut access to all our properties on that whole beach, there's going to be a major problem. How are we going to get vehicles on the beach to fix our wells, our break walls, do
Well-
cleanup?
Simple. Like, right now, to fix your break walls, all that, the contractors, I know we do it, the company I work for, comes in and gets a permit from Richard, and he gives us a key to go in there and do the access. For everybody's break walls we do down there. That's how it works. You have to come in, you have to put up an assurance certificate. We got, what else is there they ask for, Richard?
No.
So every time we,
No, apologies. Ms. Hallman is the only delegation. So if you want her to say something, just ask her to say it.
How do we put our boat on the beach? How do we do that? How do we put equipment on the beach? Our chairs?
Ultimately, that road allowance is a township-owned road allowance. So if we are restricting access, we would be required to restrict access from everyone. It is not that access is
We're not.
your access. It is a closed road allowance that if the issues continue, for sure, nobody in this room wants to go down that road. That's like the like furthest away result. Like, we need to concentrate on enforcement, we need police support, we want to resolve this without doing that, right? We don't want to disrupt the lives and the way you've been conducting yourselves on the beach. But if that never gets resolved and we are forced to do something about it, then we will be forced to barricade it. And then if you were to want access to the property, say you have, a staircase or something like that, that you are going to require access to it, then you would have to contact the township so we could open the gate, so that way you could go do it. But there is never going to be a time when we're going to hand out a key to a gate to every single resident that lives along that lakeshore. That is just not, it's impossible to do, right? So we don't want to go down that road. I know that's kind of what the councilor's just trying to get at. That's the ultimate, problem with that, right? We still want to give you your access down there. I've been going to Daly Ditch my entire life, right? We've known each other for a long time. That is not what we want to do. We want to leave you alone and let you do your thing and solve the problem. But if the problem doesn't get solved, that is the ultimate problem. That's the ultimate problem solver that we will have to do if it does not get solved.
We really feel right now the signage is lacking. We have that little wee sign and a couple of parking signs facing the wrong way, and it's not being enforced. The Augustine Road Beach allowance has that big sign. What to do, what you can do, not do with signs. Why don't we have that?
So I totally agree with you.
Counselor?
Who you missed.
There you go. You may.
Okay. We all totally agree with you on that. But I'm just trying to tell you where it leads if it doesn't work and you come back again and say we have a problem. Mark can sit there, or the bylaws officer in the evening, they can give tickets. We'll try and get it so we can tow them away. But we can't fix what's going on in the public today in this whole society. Somebody said it was since COVID.
Yeah,
You're right.
It's getting
It is
worse.
since COVID. The whole world's gone nuts. We
they
can't
feel
fix-
entitled. People feel entitled.
Yes. Right? So it's,
Are you going to guarantee a bylaw officer will be hired to work after hours, weekends, on holiday Mondays? Because that's when this happens.
Okay, this is turning into just a full-on debate, which this is not about to be. So
Okay.
I'm just going to clear the air and settle everybody down for a second, okay? So me and you have spoken, right? You've shared the concerns. Obviously, I understand that everybody has that same concern. Just to put everybody's mind at ease, so immediately following our conversations, I've been meeting with our bylaw staff. After meeting with bylaw, we addressed the fact that there is a gap, that we do need better signage. So the idea of putting a large sign, that's exactly what the motion that we're doing is going to do. It is going to be, Richard's already getting cost estimates for me. He informed me some pricing as well. We're estimating it's going to be about a 3-week span to actually get the signs built, installed, prepped and ready. We're going to have to do the amendment to the bylaw, which will then give our bylaw officers the ability to just ticket straight up vehicles. Like, they don't need the person there, they can just go down there. On the other side of that, I met with Chief Forty this morning from NRPS, and I have asked for assistance from the NRPS to try to address this like immediately. So we've asked that they do extra patrols, that if they do travel out into that area and they pass Daly Ditch, they see vehicles on the ditch, or on the beach access, that they approach those vehicles. If they are found to be drinking, anything like that, we want them fined. We want like as much penalty as we can give, we want it so we can address that issue. So we are trying to get it resolved for you as fast as possible, because I totally agree that, May 2-4 weekend is just the start of the chaos. It's ongoing, and I've witnessed it year over year myself. So just so everybody is aware, that is what our intent is to do the new enforcement method, right? Put up the new signage, and it's not just here. We've identified a couple other locations nearby as well that we are proposing the same idea. So that way we can get this resolved without having to go any further, right? And hopefully with a few good examples of people get the hint and they start to go away. Otherwise, we continue on and we keep pushing until finally, every single violator has been addressed, right?
You hit $300 per person per violation. So
It is,
not just $300 a carload, like if
I will
you keep
ask
hitting them, money talks.
my bylaw officer maybe to speak to that. Mark, you're more familiar with how all those rules work.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you, to the delegate. It's under our parking bylaw, so it's $300 per vehicle.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And what about $300 per person drinking beer on the beach? $300,
That's Niagara Regional.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, to the delegate, bylaw officers do not have authority to issue tickets under the Liquor Control Act. That is Niagara Regional Police.
So those fines are set by Niagara Regional Police.
so the bylaw officer only does parking.
Parking and any bylaw infractions, right? But that
But
alcohol
according
is
to the bylaw,
corrected.
right here,
Okay,
on
let
number
you-
7, item number 7, under column 1, the use of possessive glass bottle or on any lakeshore access property, $300.
yeah. Yeah. I'll refer to Mark.
Number
Through you,
7.
Mr. Mayor, to the delegate, not all beverages in glass bottles are alcohol. We do limit and garbage, but alcohol, anything alcohol-related is Niagara Regional Police.
But it's the glass bottle. The glass bottle on the beach is a violation,
Okay.
$300. You have to look at the
I
detail.
apologize, but at this point, we are going to.
Okay.
We just can't go back and forth. That's not how council is to be conducted. So I thank you for your presentation. I really hope that what we're going to do is going to help solve this issue for you guys. And, Councilor Anderson would like to speak. So Councilor Anderson, go ahead.
Thank you, through you, Mayor. Jennifer, do you have suggestions, or would you be willing to submit something at the office here in regards to what you see available on the sign at Augustine Road, what you agree with, what else you would like to see put on a sign before we spend the money to initiate, ongoing signage? Like, you understand the problem, you're living through the problem. So if there's something that you think would be readjusted or that we're missing because Augustine Road is a different scenario possibly from your problem,
Yeah.
if you don't mind making a critique on that sign before we go ahead and delve into that, and then our operations department can put up something as
Who should-
appropriate as we can for your problem.
Who should I send that to? Who should I
Solomon,
send
you
that
can
to?
send it to any member of council
Send
or
it
to our
council, and then we'll
Okay.
all take.
counselor.
Yeah.
I'll get that to you by the end of the week.
I got my clerk telling me to keep it professional here, so.
I understand.
I am attempting very much so. And I have received several, basically intentions from yourself already in regards to that, and those have also been shared with our planning and bylaw staff. So we will attempt to cover as many as absolutely possible, the largest signage, whatever gives our bylaw team the authority and the power to enforce these bylaws, we will make it so it's as great, as good as possible, right? So
Thank you.
With that, again, Councilor Anderson?
Through you, Mayor. I'd suggest to Jennifer that you come down and have a look at, there's a big sign on Reeves Bay. If you could just get those two signs together and you could critique them. So come down and look at that other sign, which is approximately, it's fairly close to where I live. And it keeps the majority of issues that I'm seeing up and down the beach. But I think the people having the problem are the best people that can solve most of the problem issues. So I know I'm asking you to do something that some folks may think is our idea, but we're not living your problem. So,
I'll gladly do this.
yeah, I would appreciate that.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Van Fleet.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, thank you for the presentation. We are very sympathetic of what's going on down there, really. I live at the lake, Joan lives at the lake, we see it constantly. And as a kid of the lake, when I was a kid, I get it, but you're right. Kids are just entitled now, and it's just different. Unfortunately, what happens off that 66 feet is out of our hands. And just today, I saw a kid go right by my house doing a wheelie on his dirt bike, standing up. So it's just, I really sympathize with you, and we will do everything we can within the power of council to do what we can do. And the reason why we went so hard on Augustine Road was because of, during COVID, all the parking, and now that corrected itself because somebody bought all the land. But
And there's gates up on other properties around, so they can't park as much.
this is true. So we'll work on it as much as we can. Thank you, though.
Okay, once again, thank you, Mrs. Sullivan. Appreciate you. Okay, so with that, any other discussion from members of council? Okay, seeing none, then I will call the question. All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Thank you, council. Okay, moving on to staff reports and recommendations. We have ASR 7, 2026, respecting the 2026 Asset Management Plan, levels of service, and financial strategy. Mr. Hart, can you please provide a brief overview of your report? Actually, give it a second. We will allow, we'll take a couple-minute recess, just to let everybody get out. With that, Mr. Hart, you may continue.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and through you to all of council. So this report represents the township's next required phase of compliance under OREG 588-17 and advances our long-term asset management planning framework by outlining levels of service and a financial plan. So the AMP also confirms that the current sustainable funding levels remain below long-term infrastructure needs, which is resulting in an estimated annual infrastructure gap of $6.7 million. So this asset management plan phase incorporated resident feedback, and it identified roads, bridges, and stormwater infrastructure as the township's highest priorities, while also emphasizing affordability and moderate taxation increases. Based on that feedback and the financial analysis completed, staff are recommending continuation of the township's existing 4% annual infrastructure levy strategy, which focuses on prioritizing infrastructure assets. The recommended approach balances infrastructure sustainability with affordability by prioritizing the critical and higher risk assets while gradually improving the township's overall infrastructure position over time. Overall, the asset management plan provides a balanced and financially achievable roadmap to support long-term infrastructure sustainability and reduce risks and maintain reliable municipal service for our residents. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Hart. So with that, I have a motion that the administrative staff report ASR 7, 2026, respecting the 2025 Asset Management Plan be received and that the council adopt the 2025 Asset Management Plan as presented, including the proposed levels of service and associated financial strategy required under Ontario Regulation 588-17, and that council endorse the continued application of an infrastructure levy increase of 4% annually consistent with the township's current budget practice, the 2024 Asset Management Plan, and the proposed level of service scenario identified in the 2025 Asset Management Plan. Can I have a mover and seconder? Councilor McCullen, Councilor Anderson. Any discussion? I have a question. So, Mr. Hart, I noticed that obviously it says 4% annually, but correct me if I'm wrong, we have been doing 2% despite it being our strategic plan, correct?
Through you, I guess, well, to you, Mr. Mayor. The 4% is the 2% capital levy and the 2% infrastructure levy, so combined. So we've been doing 4% per year towards capital and infrastructure.
Okay. And just for anybody watching, although this is our strategy, council at any time can change that number during budget deliberations, correct?
Absolutely correct. So this is just a guiding document and a strategy document, but year over year, things can change and direction can change for sure.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Any other discussion? Councilor Anderson, go ahead.
Thank you, through you, Mayor. Cameron, just for clarification, you're going to answer a question I know the answer to, but just for the tape, which inflation indicator do we use?
So through you, Mr. Mayor, the inflation indicator that we generally base things off of for capital and infrastructure is the building condition CPI.
And just because you're our numbers guy, how variant is that from the general inflation that we all live under for everything else?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. So they typically are pretty correlated, but in recent times, the building CPI has been higher just due to the cost of materials, tariffs, those kind of things have outpaced regular inflation. But in the last year or so, we've seen it come down to like the 2 or 3%, I believe.
And if I may continue through you, Mayor, are we comfortable with our 26 budget in the sense of all of the things that have happened lately in supply demand core and stuff? Are we pretty much covered for costing?
So through you, Mr. Mayor, I think that a lot of our projects that have gone out for tender have been coming under what we've been budgeting for. And so I think we've been doing well.
If I might continue. So if between budget year this and next budget year coming to us, if we could sort of get a little better handle on the drip, drip, drip spending that seems to sort of creep in actively during the year, and it, you know, my little bit of sort of finance says that that interferes with cash flow. We dip into reserves that we'd maybe like to have in the bank, making interest a little longer. So it just internally, if we could kind of put a little bit of squeeze on some of that sort of little bit of over requesting drippy spending. I know it has to be if there's an emergency or an event or something, that's fine. But just sort of a chronicity of spending, I have a bit of an issue with that. Thank you.
Okay, any other discussion? Any other members of council? Seeing none, with that, I will call the question then. All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, next we're going to move into Public Works staff reports. So we have PWSR 9/2026, respecting the new community safety zone. Mr. Nan, can you please provide a brief overview of your report?
Thank you, Your Worship and members of council. Again, as the mayor said, this is proposing a new community safety zone. Staff have reviewed the current safety zone, which was approved by council in 2023, as a result of some concerns raised by staff, council, and members of the public. Staff felt that it would be beneficial to improve the safety in a larger area near the school, post office, EMS, public library, community hall, the Wainfleet Meridian Arena, recreation sports complex, as well as the proposed subdivisions that are ongoing and for future. Staff have been working with the MTO, and if the community safety zone is approved by council, then for our road network, then we will be applying to the minister to have Highway 3 included in the community safety zone as well. The expense to install the required signage may be covered by the funds received by the Niagara Region Vision Zero initiative. I'm available for questions at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Nan. So with that, I have a motion that Public Works Staff Report, PWSR 9/2026, respecting the new community safety zone be received, and that council direct the manager of operations to begin the process for implementing the new community safety zone, which will include an application to the Minister of Community Safety and Correctional Services, and bring forth an amended traffic bylaw at the next regular council meeting. Can I have a mover and seconder? Councillor Van Fleet and Councillor McClellan. Any discussion? Councillor McClellan, go ahead.
To you, Mr. Mayor. What part of Highway 3 are we talking about?
Through your worship to Councilor McClellan, we're actually talking about number 3 to be included all the way from north of Bell Road, all the way around the bend to Marshville.
Okay.
The entire community area,
Yep.
which will actually help pick up Marshville subdivision as well.
No problem, thank you.
Councillor Anderson, go ahead.
So Richard, this is just a reapplication of possible fundings. I know from the red light funding, we had some extra money. We're going to use some of that on Hewitt. We'll probably have some signage here. Under the Traffic Act, is that applicable to use some of that funding? And secondary to that, are we able to, because Daily Ditch is a road allowance, are we able to take some money out of that for safety, like emergency route, bigger signage, et cetera? Like, I'm just wondering if we can move that funding around a little bit.
Through your worship, Councilor Anderson, we could definitely use it for the community safety zone. And to be honest, once we've, if approved and we get all the signage in, it's going to pretty much eat up that entire zero funding anyways. As far as Daily Ditch, it's not really a safety issue, so it doesn't improve the road safety. So I don't know if it could be applied to that. We'd have to look into it a little bit further, but I'm not sure if that would qualify.
Well, thank you, Richard. I was just trying to dig a little bit of money out of the piggy bank. Thank you.
Okay, Councillor McClellan, go ahead.
To you, Mr. Mayor. Richard, would the MTO not pay for that? That's their road. We're asking them to slow it down, but they still own the road.
Through your worship, because it's a community safety zone, we may get some funding from them in cooperation to do it. But normally, any initiative that's set forth by the municipality, we end up paying for the signage and the permits to have the signs installed.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, Councillor Van Fleet, of course. I didn't know you were ready.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. Richard, so the signage, will that include any other amber flashing lights?
Through your worship, present time, no, the community safety zone is a stagnant sign. It's a sign of itself. But this also includes the reduction of speed in various areas. So we have to put speed ahead, a certain 40-kilometer ahead signs, 40K signs, posts, as well as the community safety zone signs. At this time, it's not including any additional lighting.
I'm going to continue. So recently, we had a pretty bad accident. Thank goodness nobody was hurt, right here. And if you try and pull out on feeder onto Highway 3, going either way, from either direction of feeder, is, you know what, you're just like, may the odds be in your favor. Is there any way we can put signs on the feeder to slow people down? I know we have the speed one right by Side Road 20, but I notice people do slow down for that. So I'm wondering if it's like a flashing light or something.
Through your worship, if I may, in regards to the accident, I could tell you for a fact that somebody did not stop at the stop sign. Because we were there within minutes, because in fact our staff were the first on site. But we are working with the MTO as well to, currently where they're going to be doing a radar speed detection on number 3 highway. And again, that's going to be in support of our community safety zone, as well as some other initiative that, may or may not happen. But they're looking at traffic movements counts for this intersection as well. They've actually had somebody out here the other day tracking all the movement at that intersection, but they're also doing a speed detection. And we did have the radar signs set up on Feeder Road recently. I apologize, but I didn't pull the counts up for it. But again, we're going to be extending the 40K zone further than the existing zones are now to try and slow people down as well. And if we need to, the unfortunate part, the signs that are at Feeder and number 3 highway, they're actually MTO signs. They're not ours. Yeah, anything, they control the traffic entering their road. So all the signs on that enter number 3 highway, they're all MTO signs.
Thank you.
Councillor Anderson, go ahead.
Thank you, through you, Mayor. So in the safety zone, are we going to have a crosswalk? And if so, if there's a painted strips walk through and they happen to be on the number 3 highway forever, especially on corners and turns and all the big heavy trucks, like when big heavy trucks kind of turn, John's better at this than I am, but I think when rubber sort of makes a curve turn, there's a shearing effect and it gets rid of paint faster off a road. So if there is I guess my question is this, I'm going to get my question. If we paint sort of a crosswalk on their highway, who's responsible for the ever-going maintenance of keeping that up to snuff and et cetera?
Through your worship, currently the community safety zone is just the community safety zone. Any crosswalk or crossover on number 3 highway has to be approved by the MTO, including painting, et cetera, but they have to approve any type of crossover. There has been discussions with them, but no determination has been made at this point. They are still doing some background study work on that. But what it does, if I may continue, the biggest thing that this does is it allows the police to double the fines in these areas. The MTO, when we were speaking with them, they were wholeheartedly in favor of the community safety zone right off the bat. And that's why they said they were going to do a radar study, and if there's a way that they're finding that people aren't listening to the current signage, they would even support potentially lowering the speed to help us in our community safety zone. But again, the fines are, we don't issue the fines. They're strictly enforced by other agencies, but they have the right to double those fines in the community safety zone.
Go ahead, Councillor.
Thank you, through you, Mayor. So I'm sitting here with fingers crossed. Is there a sharing of fines? Like, how we got red light money, even though we didn't have any red lights? Is there a sharing of any funds of community safety zone violations?
To your worship.
Please say yes.
I mean, if I allowed them to use our parking lot, I don't know if they'd kick it in, but I think the answer to that would be absolutely no.
Thanks, Richard. I don't know why I asked that question.
I agreed and tried to.
All right, any other discussion? What? Who is it? Cameron, did you have something to add?
Sorry, through you, Mr. Mayor. We do get shared funds from the region for what is called base operations, which includes those speeding tickets and whatnot. Unfortunately, over the last many years, like the program is not very profitable, so the distributions are very minimal. But they are looking at increasing their fees to more cost recovery, and yeah, we do get money, but not very much.
Yes, actually, with that, I will mention that it was brought up that there should be some changes to the Traffic Act. That some of these fine structures are, 30, 50 years old, and they've never seen a change. There's been some that saw changes around 1997, if I recall correctly, but there is a few people requesting even from regional council that we get a review, and we asked the Ontario government to step in and actually do a restructuring of this to make it obviously more cost recovery. So, okay, any other discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, moving on to review of correspondence. So we have 3 items of correspondence on the agenda for consideration this evening. First item is correspondence item C110, respecting Out Niagara request for summary of actions to advance equity and inclusion for 2S and LGBTQIA+ residents, and offer to support a local pride flag raising or broader commitment ceremony. Councillor Van Fleet, you request to pull the item. Do you wish to make a motion?
I would like for us to receive this and to support it, as Pride Niagara is now asking for anyone who raises the pride flag via Pride Niagara to, I think it's buy tickets to a gala or something. So we don't have any money, so we aren't going to do that. But I would like to support this and raise the flag to show our aware of inclusivity in this place.
All right, do you have a seconder? Councillor McClellan?
I'd like to speak to it.
Okay, well, you'll have to be a seconder in order to speak to it, because you have to get it on the floor first.
I'll second.
Okay, Councillor Anderson will second it. And now we'll open it up for discussion. So Councillor McClellan.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. I have no problem supporting this. I have every year since I've been on council. I have a problem when somebody tells me I have to buy tickets to be able to do that. We don't support enough stuff in town. Nobody has ever, when I've gone to 1,000 doors every campaign for 3 campaigns, nobody has ever told me to spend more money and give away their money. So I don't mind flying a flag, but we don't give any money. We don't have, we're too small a community with too tight a budget to do that. So Councilor Van Vliet said the same thing. I just wanted to second that. And
Yep. Yeah, so just to be clear, that is not the request. This request does include a summary of actions that have been taken over this term in regards to equity and inclusion. That's just a small piece to what this actually is, but in no way is this a request for funds, like the other requests that we received. So, okay, Councilman McClellan, go ahead.
this request for our actions and what we've done. I assume that's going to cost us a fair bit of money on staff time to put this together and get it all together. Like, I don't support spending any more money on this. I will raise their flag, but the Human Rights Commission, everything else tells us what we have to do. We follow all that rules. Our HR guy is here. I'm sure he'll tell us we're not in violation of anything. I don't want it to cost the town a dime to say that, yes, we're compliant. So I can't support it if it involves doing that.
All right. I'll defer to acting CAO this evening. Mr. Gudgeon.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, there's traditionally, it's been a much more straightforward process, as council has suggested, whereby it was simply a flag raising. Something like this, that carries with it reporting and sort of, an explanation of actions taken would represent an investment of staff time in order to facilitate a proper and fulsome answer, if that's of benefit to council.
You made up my mind, thank you.
Councillor Anderson, go ahead.
I don't know if I'm going to be in or out of order on this. I'm just wondering if we receive this correspondence for information only, and that we get back to people saying that we would like to do a flag raising as we always had, and could we arrange a date to do such? Would that solve this sort of correspondence alignment?
Okay. I will ask the mover and seconder if, I guess you're the seconder, so I would ask if that is a friendly amendment, just to raise the flag.
Yeah, I would just raise it because it's the pride flag and it's done. Like, do we have to, does it have to be tagged on with anything?
Well, the request that they
I know that. I know what the
gave,
request
so-
is, but can we just not do it on our own?
I'll let the clerk answer that.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. So we don't actually have a flag. When the previous correspondence from Pride Niagara was received for information, we were requested to return it. So what I would suggest, if that's the will of council, is to participate in a flag raising, but not participate in the reporting piece. That could be the motion, and then I would leave it to Out Niagara if they wish to support that component only.
Good with that.
Councillor?
I'm not sure. I mean, I'd really like to support this, and I'd really like to fly the flag. If we're talking about putting staff time in to do a report, I'll do the report.
You're still going to tie up staff time. Yes.
Well, you would require
You were
staff
gonna
to
have
give you
to
the
go to staff
information
and
that you're
say,
going to need.
What did we do? How did we do it?
Chat
We're gonna
GPT,
type-
buddy. Chat GPT.
Don't give away your secrets, Councillor. Okay, so, Councillor Anderson, go ahead.
I think just to simplify the process, I think if we just receive this for information and that we send out a correspondence to whoever you suggest, Councillor Van Vliet, to give us a date and time when they'd like to come and do a flag raising ceremony like we always have. So we information this, correspond out, and set a date to do a flag. Is that?
I'm just going to
That's
defer to
fine.
the clerk real quick to make sure that that's totally allowed.
That's fine. Friendly
Yes,
amendment,
absolutely,
sure.
Mr. Mayor, through you. So if both the mover and seconder are comfortable with that friendly amendment, then council can vote on that motion.
Sure.
All right. So as amended, I guess. Any other discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, and that is carried. Okay, so we're going to move into the second item of correspondence, which is item C123, respecting the request for a fee waiver for a community event to be held February 2027. Council should note that the request was amended to waive the rental fee for the Moore Room for accessibility reasons. Does a member of council wish to make a motion? Councilor McClellan, go ahead.
I would suggest we waive the fee. There is a cleaning fee that we pay somebody to come and clean the place. They pay that bill.
Okay, all right. Councilor Van Fleet?
Okay, Mr. Mayor, I would probably check with Wainfleet Minor Hockey before we did this to see if there's a tournament that weekend.
I would question, that's a pretty far ways out. I don't know if Wainfleet Minor
They would know.
Hockey would know. You would know that better than me, Councillor, so,
They would probably know by now.
yeah. Okay, so I guess we're just going to need a seconder first to get it on the floor so we can open that discussion. Councillor Anderson, you'll be the seconder, thank you. Okay, so now that we're actually officially on the floor, so.
Same question.
Same question. Can we include that with the caveat that provided that that date does not interfere with a Wainfleet Minor Hockey tournament? Kind of looking to you, Madam Clerk.
I just have one more question. Does that, 150 people, is that close to their max? Or over the max in the Moore? It's good? Okay.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, that was a really conservative, or a not conservative estimate. That was maximum potential. They feel like it's probably going to be closer to half of that realistically. With respect to the minor hockey, we can certainly make that a condition. However, the rental is booked, the event is happening regardless. They're just now requesting the fee waiver.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that may or may not have any bearing on it. And then I'm just going to say something in regards to the cleaning. So just like we did for others, should we imply that if extra cleaning is required, right? Because oftentimes these groups will take care of the cleaning to make sure that there's nothing that's left behind. But if our staff has to go in and do anything above and beyond what is left behind, well, then we would have to include the cost for whatever time that our staff took.
So through you, Mr. Mayor.
Yep.
Over the years, I've had people that rented our halls.
Yep.
The bathrooms were dirty. No, this is when they came in after it was cleaned and somebody said we did our job. The bathrooms were dirty, the kitchens were dirty, the tables were sticky. I say we just clean, you pay to get it cleaned. You walk away, you leave, you put the garbage where it's supposed to be, and we pay to get it cleaned. Because the next guys come, then don't rent the hall. It's dirty. And this is what I've heard over and over the years. So I say, no, you don't do your own cleaning, because you pay a professional to do it. They know what they're supposed to do. You don't want to go in and the bathrooms stink, nothing's cleaned. That's not fair to the next guy that rents the place.
So I would add, though, this is during regular business, right? So February 27th, the arena is going to be open to the public. There's going to be hockey and things like that are occurring. So, and there is no kitchen included in that. It's just an empty room, more or less. So there's going to be no implication on the bathrooms and things like that, because our staff's already there to take care of that for the people that are using the arena as well, right? So. Yep. Yeah, they're all one, so it'd be impossible to decide, right? It would strictly be in regards to the brewer room and the condition of that, right? Perhaps we can make it a staff direction that we could estimate a cost that may be allocated if there is a problem with that, right? Because again, we're talking about the brewer room. Unless you get a major spill, and on a daily basis, our staff's going through and doing the floor cleanings and things like that every day, anyways, right? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, nobody? Councilor Anderson, go ahead.
I just have a question. I don't know who can answer this.
Sorry about that,
I'm just have a question on permit to rent a room. Does that rental agreement at this point in time include any wording around there will be a cleaning of the facility charge? So waivering is one thing, cleaning is another. I'm just wondering if in the written permit we're stating that there will be a cleaning charge and just leave it straight up.
Okay, so actually I'll defer to Richard on that as to whether or not the rental fee, I believe the rental fee includes the rental and cleaning. But if you could share that with us, Richard, that'd be wonderful.
Through your worship, we don't get a lot of rentals for the motor room, so I haven't seen it in a while, but I know there's a deposit for cleaning that we take for the community hall. And then when we go in there and inspect, we give them the money back if it's clean. If we don't, then we use that deposit for the cleaning.
There we go. That's problem solved.
But we haven't rented the motor room in a long time, so I'm not sure if there's a deposit for that.
There's got to be, right? Okay. All right. So yeah, with that being said, we do believe that there is a deposit that's included. So that would basically cover if it's on an acceptable position, then we would do it. So I would assume then that we would keep the motion as is, that we would waive the fee, and then the deposit would cover any extra cleaning that would be required. Right? Okay. All right. Madam Clerk, good with that? Yep. Okay. So any other discussion on it? Councilor Anderson, go ahead.
My only concern about setting a set deposit fee is that if you get into a real mess and you know, if the deposit for cleaning is $50 and you get in there and it takes 3.5 hours and 16 people, it's not going to be a $50 fix. So I just worry about setting solid numbers of fee charges. You know, we could put suggested cleaning fee or some open-ended wording that we have allowance to charge them more than a deposit. So it could be deposit plus unforeseen cleaning. Like somehow I think we need to cover the front and back of that sentence.
Counselor, to answer your side question there, it is called Community Connect. That is the organization that's requesting this fee waiver.
Okay, we're both having the same question. So what do they have to do with Wainfleet?
Nothing. What are they doing? Well, if you would like me to share, so it's in their request, it states that Community Connect is a registered charity dedicated to providing inclusive, barrier-free programs and social opportunities for individuals throughout the Niagara region. It states that their events are designed to foster social connection, community participation, and accessible recreation in a safe and welcoming environment.
So quick question.
Yep.
It's been a hot minute since I've rented the Moore Room, but how much is the rental fee? Does anybody know?
So it's $139.
Okay, so what we're discussing is we usually only waive the fee for Wainfleet residents, or like for hockey, or for, I don't know who we gave it to recently.
Soccer,
Yeah,
seniors, whatever.
Yeah.
so
Schools.
we're wondering why we're waiving the fees for somebody who isn't Wainfleet.
Ultimately, it's an event being hosted in Wainfleet that will be open to the public. So that is the intent behind it, right? That is why it's their request. Are they direct Wainfleet? No, they are not.
Okay, does that answer?
Oh.
I'm just helping him tonight.
That's okay. No. So, okay. Councilor Anderson, go ahead.
I seem to be fascinated with cleaning and things. What are the washroom facilities attached to using of the Moore Room? Because I believe possibly some of the guests at this event may be, have issues of mobility and acuity, et cetera.
Do we meet that?
Through your worship, to Councilor Anderson, they will be utilizing the washroom facilities in the main foyer. The Moore Room itself doesn't have any washrooms. They will be using the main foyer washrooms, and there is an accessible washroom in the main foyer.
Okay, I just want to make sure those folks had a proper washroom. Thank you.
Also, Councilor, just to be clear, the reason behind moving the actual event from the community hall to the arena was for accessibility. Yeah. Okay. Any other discussion? Say? All right. With that, then I will call the question. All in favor? Opposed? That's okay. That's okay. All right. All right. So that is carried. Okay. Moving on to item number C, correspondence item C-129, respecting the request to address ongoing issues at Daily Ditch Road Allowance. Being that we addressed this issue following our delegation, I'll move that we receive this item for information. Can I have a seconder? Councilor McClellan, thank you. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, I will call the question. All in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, we're going to move into bylaws. So I have a bylaw that, a motion that bylaw number 23, 2026, being a bylaw to amend the assessment schedules and to levy the actual costs incurred for the maintenance and construction of drainage works in the municipality known as Little Forks, Indian Creek, and Consolidated South Wainfleet Drain be read and passed this 26th day of May, 2026. Can I have a mover and seconder? Councilor McClellan and Councilor Van Fleet, thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, I will call the question. All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, with that, are there any notices of motion this evening? Seeing none, thank you. No. All right, apologize. Thought I was turning it on, I turned it off. Okay, so with that, I have a motion that council now move into closed session to discuss item under section 239-2B, the Municipal Act 2001, personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, one item, a personal matter. Can I have a mover and seconder? Councilor McClellan and Councilor Van Fleet, any discussion? Seeing none? All right, we will move into closed. Oh, okay. Oh, I apologize, I didn't call the question.